Hello and welcome to Blythe Ray Business News. For this edition, I'm joined by Robin Young. Robin is Chief Executive of Amur Minerals. Amur, listed on the AIM market in London with a market capitalisation of around £18 million sterling, a ticker of AMC. Perhaps better known for its nickel asset, its sulfide nickel asset in the extreme eastern part of Russia. Robin, welcome back on the show. You've just announced an update on the proposed sale of the Kun-Manie, if I said that right, the
Yes.
Kun-Manie asset for $35 million. First of all, let's just start there. Tell us a bit more about this proposed deal.
It's a phased step approach towards completion. The first is that we will have to have shareholder approval, which we've scheduled for a vote on the 24th of this month. And after approval, then it goes on to the Russian side where they take a look at how funds will be moved out of Russia to pay the $35 million in the transaction and to also get all the necessary approvals and ultimately a sign off approximately 90 days from when we made the announcement a couple days ago.
Now, nickel, as many of us know, highly in demand these days for batteries, electric vehicles. Perhaps not surprising, you did have an offer back in May, I think.
Yes, we did.
That didn't go through. What's changed from your perspective? Why didn't that one go through? Why is this one going through?
That offer was for $105 million and it was turned down by the shareholders. The primary reason was that it was the funds were obtained by the company over an extended period of time. Given the geopolitical situation, there isn't a great deal of trust that long-term agreements will be implemented fully and completely. So the shareholders did turn it down. And since then, what has happened, obviously, is there are 6 nations that have continued to increase sanctions. The Russian Federation has increased executive orders. So it's a dance right now where everybody is cutting each other off. And with time, we now have the 35 million, a much reduced offer from the 105. This is not unusual. You can look and see that Kinross Gold itself actually had a $680 million offer on the table that ultimately was cut by 50%. Incidentally, they had been fully paid their cash, the $300 million upfront payment. So we can't trust the buyer of our asset that we propose to sell over the course of the next 3 months.
So I was going to say, if you were a shareholder, I'm assuming you probably are a shareholder.
Yes.
As a shareholder and a director of the company, are you voting for this particular sale? Are you endorsing it?
Yes, well, as a director, of course, I'm going to endorse the transaction. It's part of the agreement that we have with the Russian buyer, Vladislav Spivlov. But as a shareholder, I can see now that as time carries on and we can't really see a completion to the special military operation that's going on, the continued tightening of sanctions, the continued responses from the Russian government, that this is an opportunity, and it's probably a last and final opportunity, that we'll have to extract cash out of the Russian environment and recover the sunk costs of our project.
Now, this nickel project you've had in Russia, again, the extreme eastern end of Russia, is probably the better known asset within the Amur portfolio. Having made the steps to sell it off, what's left and what next for Amur?
Yes, you could call it our flagship project. Once this transaction occurs and the funds are delivered into the company, we will be paying a dividend. And that dividend right now is projected to be 1.8 pence. There's no reason that we can't make it, especially with $35 million coming in. After that, we fall into a category called a cash shell. And we have then a period of 6 months to find, to find a replacement project and reverse take over that project into the company and move on. And we've already been taking a look at different geopolitical environments, different commodities. Certainly we're removing the risk factor of Russia. So we're looking forward to the identification of projects and the specific strategy, and we anticipate getting out a quick update to the shareholders so that they can see what our plans are for the long term. So AMC will not go away. It will still be there, but we'll be looking at a different commodity in a different and certainly in a more politically stable jurisdiction.
Well, Robin, you must come back and tell us about that. Thanks for joining us today. That was Robin Young, Chief Executive of Amur Minerals, updating us on the proposed sale of the Kun-Manie asset in Russia. That's it from Blythe Ray Business News for this edition. Thanks for watching.